You know how they say that every once in a while you just have one of those days that makes you scratch your head and go, I didn't have that on my bingo card for today. Today has been one of those days. You'll hear about that. And we're going to open another double capped tube. Today, I did not have 18-hour power outage at my place of business on my bingo card. Yep. 3:30 in the morning, we had some storms roll through here. Pretty good storms, very, very large wind. And apparently, that large wind blew over a very large tree onto a very important power line. And the store, the furniture store that I own, is still in the dark, actually. So it got me kind of thinking. I mean, it's been almost 18 hours, and 1,000 people were affected by this. And it got me thinking that, when it comes to our electrical grid system, we put so much into what it is that we expect out of our electricity. I mean, everything runs off of it. Computers, and I mean, granted, you have laptops with batteries and stuff like that, but they're only going to last so long. And then on top of that, all the credit card processing machines and all of the obviously the lights and the music that goes into it and all of that stuff. There's an incredible amount that goes into it. We actually shut the store down early today and went home, and I'm glad we did because it's obviously still out of power. I didn't find out about this tree until just about half an hour ago when I actually asked a couple of the line workers that were working around the area of the furniture store what was going on and what happened. So, yeah, definitely not on my bingo card for the day. Hands down, no questions asked. But with that being all said and done, I had some free time this afternoon, and I decided I'm going to make about 3 or 4 videos tonight, one of which is going to come up in this one right here. But I also wanted to let you know that I did get an opportunity to actually talk to Dennis about these roles. And here's what I love about a good working relationship. I'm going to chat with you in just a second here about obviously bad working relationships because we've seen that at shows. No, I was about to say furniture shows. I'm talking coin shows here. Sorry, still on work. Um, at coin shows where you'll walk up to a dealer and you'll just get a vibe. I mean, you'll get a vibe that just is like they don't want to really even be there. They don't want to mess around with all the small stuff, especially when it comes to like pennies or rolls or any of that stuff. Because I didn't bring any rolls now because they're back at the store and they're so heavy to carry. But really. Um, it gives you a bad sense and a bad taste in your mouth about wanting to work with dealers. However, I got a chance to chat with Dennis yesterday for quite a while, probably a good 40 minutes. And he and I chattered back and forth about all sorts of different things, my dad and, his, a little bit of his history with the store and stuff like that. And, what was really cool is he sounded genuinely happy to have found a buyer like me that really, for the most part, meant that he wasn't just selling things. He's like me. If he's going to sell something, he wants it to go to a home that it's appreciated. He doesn't want somebody to just take it and cannibalize the thing and get what they want out of it and toss the rest off to the side. I mean, everybody wants to sell somebody something that is I guess wanted, coveted, and that's indeed what I am when it comes to my roles. Everybody knows I don't part with a lot of my roles, and when I do, it's only because I need to make money in order to buy more roles. And the same thing Dennis does. There's things he has. He said, "I wish I could collect everything," were his exact words. But he says, honestly, he said, I don't have the money to do it. He sounds like he has a good, successful business, and he has had it for quite some time. He started collecting change and coins and got into the whole coin portion of it back when he was about 8 or 9 years old. His dad apparently owned a couple of laundromats. Can you imagine all of that? The coins that come out of those laundromats. And that would be just totally cool to be able to do that. So again, Dennis, thank you very much for the opportunity that we have. Let's get on with this roll reveal, and I'm going to pick one of these rolls. I've got let's see, three. I got 7 rolls left to open here. I'm going to open a 44 Philadelphia roll because I'm going to talk a little bit about what the 44 year was all about in just a second. Okay, I've got my stuff here, and yeah, let's open this. It's a 1944 Philadelphia roll. Now, as I'm trying to pry this off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the year 1944. Obviously, it was the year after 1943. Okay, so, but why is that important? Well, it's important for 2 reasons. Number one, the U.S. Mint, all 3 of the branches, or all 3 of the mints, I guess you want to call it that, all 3 of the mints had an absolutely horrific prior year. 1943 was probably one of the worst years that they had. And it all came down to supply concerns. It came down to being able to get enough, for the Lincoln cents anyway, this is what I'm talking about, being able to get a hold of enough of the steel coated or the zinc coated steel rolls and strips in order to be able to produce the coins. And the supply chains were such that literally they minted billions of these 1943 steel cents. And the sad part about it is that they were having a hard time. They would get planchet strips from a variety of different sources, and they were different qualities each time. They would have a hard time. And look, you can't blame them. You can't blame some of their suppliers because look, everybody was trying to do the whole war effort thing. So you have to look into that. But not to dwell on the 43, but what's important about that when it comes to the 44? Well, look, a lot of the people didn't like the 1943 cents, so they didn't spend them. They didn't use them. A lot of people saved them because they thought they were really cool, but they all tarnished right away. They all started to rust. There's rumored stories that they dumped a whole bunch of the ones into the sea. Actually, the mint did. And so that they didn't even need to be used, and they couldn't really do much with them. So I don't know whether that story is true or not, but what that meant for 1944 was they had a Lincoln cent shortage. So 1944 represents the very first time that a Lincoln cent went above 1 billion coins minted at a particular mint, and that's 1944 Philadelphia. Now, I said the 1943s had billions of them made, and that's adding up all 3 mints, of course. And so, literally, the 1944 was a coin that they just pressed out over and over and over again, and in large numbers. And what I have found with the 1944 Philadelphia mint coins is that the 1944s can come 2 ways. You either get really nice coins or you get really crappy coins. And by that, I mean coins that are not struck well, coins that have a lot of definition missing to them and stuff like that. I'm hoping these are actually of the better variety just because a lot of the rolls that I've opened from him have been of the better variety. I need to pop this one coin out the end here, and I'm going to concentrate on this. There we go. Yeah. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. You guys can't see this on the video, and I'll hold it up in just a second here, but this particular coin has an immense amount of color to it on the back side of that coin. And by that, I mean it's really got a patina to it. There you go. Now you can see it. See it in the center there? And you can actually see what I'm talking about. That's what we're looking for when it comes to these 1944 cents. My personal 1944 roll, the entire roll looks like that coin. So let's see what the rest of this roll looks like. And I'm hopeful. Now, the 44 Philadelphia Mint coins, obviously the dies were heavily used between the mints, and so heavily in fact that when one mint needed another set of dies or some more dies, they would reach out to another mint and ask for dies. And what's interesting, I'm going to put my mask on here only because what I just spotted, I don't want to mess up. All right, so everybody's familiar with the 1944 Denver over San Francisco mint. Obviously, you can't tell the difference if it's a Philadelphia mint, with a D or an S on it because it came to the Denver or San Francisco mint without any mint mark on it. But you can find the Denver over San Francisco mints. Now, with that said, the next roll I'm going to open tonight is the 1944D Denver, and we'll see if we get lucky with any of those. But here's our 1944 Philadelphia Mint, and as you can probably already determine, the reason why I put my mask on is exactly, yeah, there you go. That is an incredible, incredible coin. Now, obviously, there's two sides to every coin. Ha ha ha. And this is an absolutely incredible reverse. So, this is going to turn out to be a beautiful roll of coins. Hopefully, you guys have learned something about the 1944 year along with it. I'm going to go ahead and do, what I did with a couple of the other ones. I'm going to grade this one out. And the part of the reason why I'm grading it out, my birds decided they want in on the action, is because I think there are some coins in here that are going to grade exceptionally, exceptionally high. I'll be back in a second with that grade out of the roll and hopefully be able to turn my bird off. Well, as you can see, this has turned out to be an amazing roll of coins. Do we have some 65s and one lone 64 down here? Yeah, we do. 66s, 66 pluses, 67s, 67 pluses. Now, these four coins up here, there's one of them that actually has a shot at a 68. Maybe even two of them. You're going to see some pictures of these, a couple of these individual coins pop up as I'm chatting here. Actually, I'll make it in the next video when I actually put my face back up here. I'm going to show you some individual pictures of these. This is a wild roll. This will very much compete with my existing personal roll, which has some of the same stuff, but these have a look unlike anything I have seen coming out of a 44 roll in a very, very long time. I'm hoping the 44D roll is similar to that, but so Dennis, if you're watching, this is a roll you'll get paid more for, and it should. You should get more for it. That's the way it works. But I'm in awe. I have my mask on, and obviously that's because I don't want anything over top of these coins that's going to cause spots on them for the future. But I'll be back in just a second. I'll show you some individual pictures of these. Okay, so if my bird starts talking in the background, he just wants to know. He's asking, "What are you doing? What you doing?" So, yeah, see, there you go. What you doing? See if he says no. He's gonna squawk. He says peekaboo too. Yes, there you go. Peekaboo, peekaboo. quite a talented bird. Anyway, um, yeah, I'm going to throw up some pictures of this. I'm going to slide over here a little bit so you guys can actually get a chance to see these as I put them up. This is a shot right here of the whole layout on the mat and stuff like that, and so you get a chance to see how the whole thing graded out as a still shot. Um, I'm going to show you some up close pictures of some of the the miscellaneous coins in here, the individual coins, as I chat here for a little bit. But um, the as we go through some of these pictures and you take a look at them, the one thing you're going to notice about them is they have this really cool rosy red color to them, with a little bit of light toning around the outside edge and stuff like that. And again, I have run across about maybe 5% of the 1944 Philadelphia rolls that I have run across have this kind of a look to them, like what you're seeing here, and it's stunning to see. It is absolutely beyond comparison compared to a normal, just a regular copper colored Lincoln cent. But the problem is, like everything else, that they can have this beautiful rosy color to them and still only grade 65s and 66s and 64s. And part of the reason for that is, they just like anything else are subject to bag marks and contact marks and all sorts of things. And so, you can have this beautiful color, but you still can have a lower grade coin. So the trick is to find those coins that have this color, that have this amazing color, and don't have a lot of contact marks or any contact marks, and still have also a nice strike. Remember, there were over 1 billion of these made. So to find one with a really decent strike is also difficult as well. And that is taken into account when it's graded. That's why, I've got that row of four of these, 67 plus that I'm calling them. But, chances of getting a 68, maybe if I'm on a lucky day or something like that. But the one thing that these coins are missing is a super, super strong strike to them, which is what elevates you to that 68 platform on certain dates. 44 is, not impossible to get a 68 out of, because there are 68s out there. What's impossible is to get everything you need to make a 68. And I'm responsible for a lot of 68s. I'll tell you that right now. I have graded a lot of Lincoln cents over my time, and I am responsible for several 68s on my personal side, as well as even selling rolls to a good friend of mine who has gone on to take those rolls and make 68 coins out of the rolls that I have sold to him. And if you want to know why I don't do it myself, I'm not a fan of the grading services. If you haven't watched any of my older videos, you'll figure that out. But I mean, take a look at this one coin right here. This is after I put them all back in the tube and I put the one coin right up on top. I mean, that is just pure amazement in my book. Again, not the most strong strike in the world, but man, I'll tell you, that coin's got some serious bling to it, and it literally looks like it is plugged into the wall on both sides of the coin. There's the reverse that you can see. So, um, in closing, I guess I'll leave that picture up just because it's just gorgeous to look at. In closing, the thing to remember here is, as we move on to the other roles, is that, look, you can have the most beautiful coin in the world, but if it's got problems, you're not going to get a grade out of it. And the trick with my rolls that I have is to try and find a whole roll that looks like this. Now, a lot of people look at this roll and they go, wow, there's 66s and 66 plus and 67s, a lot of 67s in there. And, the other thing to remember is, look, I can send these coins in and get them graded. And chances are, the grading services are funny. If you send in a raw coin, the grading service doesn't want to give it the highest grade possible right off the bat. I mean, that's happened to me. It happened to me with a couple of 1935s that I sent in, where they just automatically gave them 68s, and they couldn't. I probably should have resubmitted those coins to see if I could get 68 pluses out of them, because there are a couple of 68 pluses now in the 1935s. But The interesting part about these coins is that if you submit them and you get back a 67 on a coin you think should be a 67 plus, don't give up. If that's your gig, if you like submitting coins, you're going to have to resubmit it for reconsideration. And that may mean either busting it out and sending it in again, or sending it back in a couple, two or three times. The grading services want their money. It's that simple. If you paid $40 to get it graded and it grades a 68, what are they going to get out of it? You pay $40 three times and it finally makes 68. They've made some more money off of you. It's that easy. It's a racket. Now you know why I don't like it. Anyway, that's our video. It was an entertaining one. It was worthwhile, and you learned an awful lot about the 1944 year. We're going to do the 1944D. That'll be a shorter video because I won't need to explain everything about the year. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you liked it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and whatever else accordingly. We'll be back with the 44D in a minute.